Hey guys, this is Kris Jones for episode 26 of Ask Me Anything. Today is part 3 in our series on growing your business, maximizing your profits, and finding your passion. You're going to have to wait for part 5 in order for me to unleash the beast as it relates to what really will differentiate your life and take it to a whole new level as it relates to entrepreneurship and success. Of course, what we're going through in these first 4 parts are some of the tactics, some of the tools, some of the strategies, some of the insights, which is great. You could leverage these insights and these tools to make more money and to make more profit, and that's great. And you probably will be a happier person, but at the end of the day, what life is all about is tapping into your God-given talents and unleashing the passion that we all have within us when we connect to the things that mean most. Today's episode, though, is about some tactics around creating raving fans, which is actually one of my favorite topics. But before we dive into there, the reason I'm doing this 4, 5, 6 part series is to help you guys think about, how to find something that works, replicate it, and scale it. It's a simple recipe for going from idea stage to actually starting a business and then executing a business strategy long term, and not only making it a successful business, but one that makes you a lot of money. And at the beginning of each of these parts, I just have to start with the facts. 90% of entrepreneurs and small businesses fail within just about 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's a really startling statistic. You may think to yourself, I'm going to stay away. But what a gift entrepreneurial success is. And the good news is that roughly 5 to 10% of entrepreneurs succeed. And when we succeed, it creates a level of freedom, financial security, and just energy, excitement, and passion that I think anybody would want to sacrifice that risk of not succeeding by creating a blueprint, modeling those who've succeeded, and giving it a shot. So let's talk about what I think is one of the most important things for you to embrace. This is not an idea, friends. This is a business strategy. This is not something that you do on occasion. It becomes part of the ethos of how you think and how you serve people, regardless of what your business is. It's products, services, or whatever. At the end of the day, you're going to be successful if you can solve a problem, scratch an itch, enhance someone's life in some material way. But I'm telling you right now, the ethos that I'm referring to is when you go all in on making your customers or your clients happy, creating raving fans. At the end of the day, if you want to make more money, you need to make your existing customers happy. Why? Because happy customers come back. Why? Because happy customers tell their friends to come along with them. Why? Because happy customers who tell their friends tell their friends who tell their friends. But the only way you could do that, it's not only about having a great product. As I said in a previous episode, people don't buy what you sell or how you sell it. They buy why you sell it. And we're going to talk about that more as part of this 5 or 6 part series when we talk about passion, discovering your why. But at the end of the day, how do you make your customers feel? And so there are companies out there that have set an extraordinarily high bar. One in particular is a company called Zappos, Zappos.com. It was a company that has been under the leadership of a guy by the name of Tony Hsieh. And Tony Hsieh wrote a book called Delivering Happiness. It's basically a book on how his obsession for making customers happy led to him building a $1 billion shoe company. If you read the book, it talks about how he would reward his customer support team for going above and beyond. And by the way, as I'm sharing that's Tony's story and it's in his book, but what are some of the things that you do to serve your customers above and beyond? What are some of the rules that you may have in place right now that you need to get rid of that limit your staff's ability to go above and beyond to please your customers? But so Tony rewards his customer support team, his client services team, for just outrageous ways of pleasing their customers. He tells a story about how he rewarded one of his customer service agents, I know this is going to sound crazy, for being on the telephone with one of the customers for multiple hours. Sounds crazy. I'm sure he lost money on it. But the customer was having difficulty. They were in a bad relationship, and they had needed particular shoes for an event that they were going to that meant a lot to them. And it just required this customer service agent to spend a lot of time walking this person through the various options and really kind of helping them think through like what they were going to wear, among other things. But again, the outcome for Tony Hsieh is to create a workplace and to create a culture, a work culture, and also an ethos as it relates to how he serves his customers, where there are no limits, that customers come first, serving them is what matters. The irony here, gang, is that we're talking about how to actually increase your profits, which is ironic, right? It's counterintuitive. You would think that by restricting the tools and the resources you have available to go above and beyond for your customers, that somehow that would result in less profit. But the reality is that by creating that viral loop, by creating that conversation from one happy customer who leads to 5 new customers, you'll make much more money and it'll be more profitable than you ever envisioned by limiting, or I should say, by removing any of the crazy restrictions you have on pleasing customers. It's okay to lose money, by the way, on an unhappy customer. Again, it's okay to lose money on an unhappy customer, especially when they leave happy. In my own career, I've seen it. I've seen members of my team get snagged, if you will, in a process where the customer just doesn't seem capable of being happy. And I would intervene and say, well, we just need to make the customer happy. And they would say, well, the customer wants a refund. And before I issued the refund, I would say, what did we sell the customer and did we deliver it? And at the end of the day, I try to solve the problem. If I could solve the problem, basically provide the deliverables we promised or the product that we promised. But if not, you do not allow the situation to end in a way that the customer is unhappy. So you may need to issue a refund that you don't want, even if some of the work has been done. Now, you need to be reasonable, you need to be diplomatic, but you need to be respectful, and at the end of the day, it's okay to lose money as long as that person goes away happy. I know some of you are probably watching this right now saying, yeah, Kris, you're dead wrong. There ain't no way that I'm going to give in to a customer who's wrong. And I'm telling you that you will make more money. You will make more profit by making certain that all of your customers leave happy. Your outcome, your goal is to create raving fans, to create customers that tell other people about your products or services. That's your goal. You're not going to have a 100% hit rate. That's just the way that you're going to build your business. But I could tell you that one rotten apple could muddy your strategy. So you just have to go out of your way. try to please everyone as much as possible, diplomatically. One of the things that I've learned from my experience building referlocal.com is that people love perks. People love discounts. People like to feel like we have the VIP program. People like to feel special. So when you're thinking about ways, and as you're jotting down ideas as you listen to this video, when you're thinking about ways or strategies to incorporate this into your business, this idea of creating raving fans, think about how you deploy loyalty programs. You're going to make most of your money from the customers who buy from you most frequently. Those customers should have an elevated, where applicable and where possible, an elevated level of experience or access to whatever products or services you have. You just need to think through how that applies to your business. But having a loyalty program and giving them back and surprising them and giving them perks and walking over to the table and saying hi and building relationships with those loyal customers is really, at the end of the day, everything. It is much easier to get a happy customer to buy from you than it is to convince someone who's never purchased from you to buy. That's why it's worth spending that extra time and energy in really taking care of those customers that were most loyal to you. And here's the thing. With all of this, you need to be consistent. Think about it just from your own standpoint as a customer. If you go into a restaurant and you have a great experience, you tell people about it, oh my God, the food is so good, the service was really great, and you go back, and again, food was great, service was bad, you go in 2 more times, have the same positive experience. On that 5th time, something is broken, whether it be a poor experience with the food. This is, by the way, this quick little tidbit here is why you need to make customers leave happy. But something went wrong with the food or the service or whatever, you need to fix that. You need to be consistent. And the consistency when something goes wrong is critical. The consistency when something goes wrong is critical. That's an opportunity for you to extend to your valued customer how important they are. And that's why you're going to be willing to do whatever it takes to make them happy. So consistency is something that's very, very important. If your customer support, if you have a team of 3 people in your customer support, and one of them is super willing to give as much of his or her time as necessary to make a customer happy, the second employee, same, and then the third employee is just in a rush, always ready, to check out, if you will. You're going to deliver an inconsistent customer experience. And that's something that you have to be aware of, because the goal with creating raving fans is consistency. And, think about this as well. I find that one of the most effective ways of building out a raving fan customer base is simply saying to yourself, what are the expectations that you have for how people serve you? Think about that. Think about that long and hard. It's not different. So just because you're a business owner, the way you treat your customers isn't different than the way you want to be treated. You personally want that. You want to feel special. You want to feel like the company that you're working with has gone above and beyond. And that's what you need to do to create raving fans. There's a lot of work that's been done on this topic. In preparation for this video, I read a Harvard Business Review piece that looked at sort of some scientific approaches to how to create raving fans. And it was nice to see that some of my ideas for consistency, going above and beyond, making sure that the product that you promise is the product that you deliver. And these types of things are documented. So gang, if you want to make more money, you have to spend more money on making people happy. And that is the purpose of this episode. I will see you guys in the next episode. If you have any comments or any questions, please post them below. I will be back to my regularly scheduled taking questions from you, and I will get to those questions in a future episode, I promise. Feel free to post below or go ahead and reach out to me, a private message or email me, and I'll get to those in the future. Thanks so much. Have a great day and create raving fans.